All right. Okay. Here we are. Another Woods Report. And today we are talking about Traci Braxton's memorial service. I watched it today. And I also watched, because, I try to keep up on stuff. And I watched Toni Braxton was doing an interview. And she talked about a little bit about how the family's getting through, Traci's death. And they're going to have a funeral for her, a memorial, a celebration on April 2nd, which was Traci's birthday.
Okay.
So I was talking to Lindora. Y'all know I got a deep dive into stuff, and even with our own personal stuff and funerals and things that we've had to deal with. But the thing that was interesting to me about this memorial service is that her sisters and her mom chose not to attend.
With the husband.
The one he had today, they wasn't for it. According to page 6, they wasn't happy about it. They made a comment that Traci didn't want that. She didn't want that kind of service.
It was the planning of it is the reasons why they didn't agree with it is because they were saying that it was things that Traci didn't want.
What they said, this is what the Braxton sisters said. They had a conversation with Traci, I believe via Zoom or even in person, because they was with her. But she wasn't speaking for the last week or something before she died or something. But anyway, from what I gather, what they said is she told them what type of service that she wanted, and she didn't want that type of service.
Wouldn't she have told her husband too?
Well, here we go.
Because she was with her husband. She wasn't they're not separated.
No, they're together.
They're together. So your husband would know your details as well.
And then he said, I don't know about what you saying. This is what she told me, what she wanted.
Which was different than what she told them.
Okay. And it was to be cremated, which they did.
Okay.
They had her urn there. She was cremated.
The girl, did the sisters not say she wanted
Apparently we're going to get into this because it's too much. It's too much of that. And even with us, even in our own lives, I'm thinking there's things I'll say and then I might change my mind.
Like towards the latter part,
I might change my mind.
You may feel a certain
way. Or
I
might tell my husband, okay, I want this, and then I may tell you, it's a lot of stuff.
Here's the thing: the bottom line is and then to a lot of marriages is kind of weird and rocky. If the marriage is fine, they're together. They're not separated. They're not divorced.
It's not like she hate her husband. Right. And then the sisters is like, girl, we ain't listening to him. Right. She ain't even love that man.
The husband should have the say on how the wife is going to be.
And this is the part that people keep missing. But then again, if you tell your sisters, I don't care what that Negro say, I want this. If you do not write it down and put it in writing,
yes.
It's too much of this.
Yes.
Well, he told me this, she told me this, and
she said she didn't want to be cremated. She wanted an open casket.
And then you say different things to different people.
Right.
Because I said I want to be cremated. I'm live here telling y'all this. Is this Negro gonna do it? Watch. It'll be a casket with me there with some ugly makeup on. Even if I told y'all, I don't want.
I'm gonna have her locks on.
I said it, and I'll be like, I said it live, I said it everywhere. But you guys don't know. I could turn this live off and be like, whatever, just do whatever.
Another year from now, you may change your mind and say, Lenore, go ahead and do the.
Or I don't care. I may be like, I don't care. And then people speak different depending on who they talking to.
Right.
Because I say cremate to my mom, and she's like, no, you don't want to be cremated. Oh, Kim. Oh, you don't want that.
Like, you out of here.
Yeah, so and I could say just to make her feel good, all right, Ma, you don't have to cremate me. But then I may say to somebody, no, I really, and then my mom be like, no, she told told me she didn't want to.
So who has to say if it's not written down?
It's the husband.
If there's nothing put in writing,
it's the husband.
So you tell me now. You're saying that he made the decision to do this, and the late girls are not going.
He said he spoke. His wife told him this is the kind of service that she wanted, and it was basically, just for those who didn't see it. It was live. It was today, I believe. Either today or yesterday. I can't remember. I watched the tape. But it was a few celebrities did record. You know how they record and say how they think about you.
Right.
It was at her church. So her pastor.
Okay. Her church.
They started off with praise and worship.
Okay.
The praise and worship team that was there. And then it was people who worked with her. People who did like on shows with her, people who sung with her, musicians.
So the sisters were different,
and they got up and they talked about their experience.
Like the sisters would be okay with that.
At the end of it, her pastor spoke. Her husband spoke. It wasn't sad or anything like that.
At first they wouldn't let her dad in.
Well, I get to that. Hold on. Oh. So the husband spoke. The son spoke.
Okay.
According to page 6. The son, she left everything to him as the person for her estate, because she knew that if she left it to her husband, her sisters would contest it.
Ooh.
Isn't that something? So it's something going on here.
You're kidding.
And then
like him, did
he might have, maybe he cheated on her.
He did. He did have an affair
because they was on that couple show.
The boot camp.
Boot camp. And see, you can get back. That's a whole nother. We have so many things that we can branch off and go into. When your spouse or your boyfriend cheat, you may forgive that person, but everybody else ain't gonna forget that person. But that's a whole nother Woods report. The thing
about it is that all of the women who all watch the Braxtons, they've all had some bitter relationships, even the mom.
Yeah.
So there's bitterness with men,
right?
In it, so they're gonna be bitter against the husband, unfortunately,
right?
And the sad thing about it is your sister shouldn't be in your marriage.
Okay, My Voice Has Power says it doesn't matter. The law and the funeral go with the husband unless there is a policy. Then the policyholder makes the final decision. Absolutely, that's what I said.
They were married. Sister Braxtons, I'm sorry.
And you got to take care of your business. And I'm saying all this to say, you really need to take care of your business. It needs to be in writing.
Yeah.
Because even if your husband has the final say, if you have something in writing, it even supersedes him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but what if you, and then too, that's the question we were asking. Let's just say what if, for the sake of argument, they had a very rocky relationship, and he was just a butthole.
I felt like they should have still came.
Everybody knew that's a butthole, no matter what he says.
I felt like they should have still came. Yeah. I just felt like, and this gets us to the point to where I was talking about how people act a fool at funerals.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't understand why people, the person, y'all, it's a body. It's a shell.
Just back to dirt.
It's not the real person in the casket.
Gone.
They're gone.
Bye-bye. They don't care.
So what you do from that day on is in remembrance of them.
Yeah.
So if you act a fool,
you are still fool on earth. Imagine you're living and acting stupid.
But imagine if that person was looking down or was able to see what you're doing. They more upset that you was acting a fool.
But you told me that they were not going to go. They're going to have their own.
They did not go. Okay. They said. I'm going to tell you what Tony said. Or not. Did Tony say it? Or it's so much stuff. Yeah, Tony said it. Traci wanted her memorial, whatever, on her birthday. Mm-hmm. And she wanted it to be a celebration, and she wanted her family there. So now you got this whole thing with the sister saying, we want to honor what she wanted. Mm-hmm. That's what she told us. I don't know what she told you as her husband, but that's what she told us. So why can't both things be real? Why can't you have both services?
And attend, both of y'all attend both.
They're not
letting him go though.
He said, this is what Traci's husband said. He was not invited to the.
Oh goodness. I don't even understand.
How can you not be invited to your wife's funeral?
When you said at first,
and you was married for 29 years.
But you said also that at first they didn't let the dad in here, the one he had.
According to what they said, the father,
her father, who she was closest
tried to show up at this service.
Oh no.
And the ushers didn't let him in. And somebody at the church recognized him from the show.
Right.
And said, that's her father. and then they let him in, but he sat on the 4th row.
I don't understand why people
I don't
do
understand.
this.
And if you watched it, all the clips of her was with her sisters. She has her favorite bird, they said, was a hummingbird. And she had 5 hummingbirds tattooed on her back.
Okay.
In reference to her sisters. And when Tony did her interview, she said God allowed her to see a hummingbird. She's never really seen, and she saw a hummingbird one morning. And she said, Tracy, is that you? I said, if that is Tracy, she probably said, why y'all acting up?
She probably showing herself like, can y'all come together at least in memorial for me and remembering me?
And if there is something in writing, a will, and you leave the husband out, he can appeal it. Wow. Really?
Yeah, because he's the husband. They're married.
But what if he appeals it and you didn't really have a good relationship with him?
He can still win.
Wow.
If you haven't legally, I'm thinking if you haven't legally separated and it's not on paper that you are not with him anymore.
Let me tell y'all a personal.
He can pull the plug on you, can he?
Let me tell y'all a personal story. And I'll be personal. I'm becoming Will and Jada, so it could be used against me and comedians.
Oh gosh.
Anytime you put something out, it can be used.
That's true. People say, I remember when Kim said.
Yeah, so I was married. Yeah, I was married. And I separated. I came up here, and then my husband still stayed down south. And we was married for a long time, even just on paper. Like, we wasn't really married, like, living married.
Being
It was just too lazy to go take care of the paperwork, really, honestly. And he had a whole nother life that he had started with somebody.
Right.
And he had kids.
Yes.
And the woman who he was with, he wasn't married. He couldn't marry her. He'd be a bigamist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, married.
She told him, because he had 401k, and she told him, if you die, your wife can get that 401k and not me and the kids.
And the kids he had. Yeah.
And so he was like, Kim wouldn't do that. So he called me. He talked to me on the phone. Right. He called me, and he said, yeah, she concerned that if I die or whatever, that you will take the money. And I said, I wouldn't do that though.
But she don't.
But
know
everybody
that.
not like that.
Right.
I said, why would I do that?
Why would she trust you? She don't know you.
Exactly.
She don't know you.
I said, why would I take your 401k and you got kids,
and
I ain't married? I'm not married to you.
But she's right.
You know what I'm saying?
But she's right. Legally.
And I'm gonna tell y'all what made me go down to the court. My sister tell you. This girl DM me on Facebook. And she said, I'm gonna her and Alan was going, I should say the name. Oh Lord.
Don't say the name.
Sorry, y'all, that was his name. Men and your husband going through something, and he gone, and I'm suing him for child support.
I need to feed these kids,
and I'm gonna put your name on there because you married to him. I went right down to the courthouse. Did I not?
That said, you had to wait till that to happen.
I went right down to the courthouse.
For child support.
I said, the devil is a lie. You are not garnishing my check. And she would have been right.
But I asked the question. I'm thinking, how can a baby mama come after the wife for child support? Is that different laws in different states?
I
put your stuff in writing, you guys.
I'm telling you. Marianne said, dysfunctional family actions never are logical. Famous does not. You are absolutely right. And I was telling her, I've seen some of the craziest, even in our own personal lives, of people acting absolutely ridiculous at funerals. At funerals.
Separate funerals. He didn't want it that way. He wanted to be cremated. He didn't want to wear that blue suit.
We'll come in at a different time than this side of the family will come in at a different time than this side of the family.
They can sit in the front. No, you can sit in the back. You not related.
My uncle who was famous.
That's my
women
daddy.
Showing up that don't even care. My grandmother's funeral don't even care about my we was at my grandmother's funeral. No, it was a viewing.
Yes.
And my uncle is famous, and it was women coming in just to see him. They was like, "Is he here?" And I'm like, "My grandmother's sitting right there." her.
We was sitting in the front door, guarding the door. People was coming in saying, "Where's Percy?"
Well, yeah, where he at?
But we was like, we almost cussed. We was like, I know you're not here to see him.
At least they wore a dress and dressed up. They didn't look like they just came off the street. I feel like if you're going to come in and bring some flowers or something.
But still, we've been at funerals where there was separate celebrations. One going home at the church. Now we ain't going to theirs. We going to have our own. We didn't want to bury him like that. I don't think.
Yep, my voice said the 401k was yours. Yes, the wife can be added to the child support order. Yep. And I marched and I went and she inboxed me because he wasn't paying it.
Oh God.
He was trying to ditch and
come
dodge.
at you.
And she inboxed me, honey, and she told me.
And you got that divorce.
She
quick.
said, I can't get him, but I know you right here on Facebook.
So
and please believe I'm going to come after you.
So you have to keep all of that in mind when you're married.
And I didn't know, one time I had ran my credit report and it was one of his bills on my credit report. But y'all gotta, when y'all marry somebody, y'all better, that's legal.
For health reasons, they have to sign all of your paperwork for their health. Making the decisions on pulling the plug.
Now I asked
resuscitation.
Resuscitation.
For my mom.
Now, somebody can answer this for me.
Who's gonna pull the plug?
Lenore.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I'll tell the truth.
Just no resuscitation.
Lenore.
I was like, what's wrong?
Hold on. No, you wasn't. He was sick in the ICU.
Well,
too.
you know I would have been mad.
Y'all know and some of y'all may know the last issues that we had with COVID.
Yeah.
My mom was in ICU on a ventilator, and Lenore went to ICU too.
Right.
Okay. I was the only one here, okay? And they called the police. The hospital called me and asked me, because my mom had signed, I think.
I thought I did her. I thought
Lenore is her power of attorney for medical.
But I don't have another one.
So she was in ICU, so they called me. I'm like, Lenore, they should be calling her. They like, we can't call her. Both of them is gone. Oh. We got a call come to you. You the next one in line. Oh, wow. And so they asked me, do you want to resuscitate her? Uh-huh. And when we take her off, because they were going to take her off the thing. And they said, if she don't breathe on her own, do you want to resuscitate her? Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, and I said, I don't want to make that decision on my own. Mm-hmm. So I called my aunt. Mm-hmm. I called my aunt. She only got one sister. And I called my aunt and I said, Auntie, I said, if they take mama off, I start crying. So don't get me going. Okay. Y'all don't want to start crying, okay. But I mean start crying.
Go ahead,
I said, Auntie, if they take mama off, I said, I don't want to make that decision on whether they should resuscitate her. My thought was no. I told you I was going to tell the truth.
Lord Jesus.
I said no.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I don't want you pumping and doing all of that on my mom. My mom is ready to go. If she's time for her to go, she'll go.
Oh, I'm glad.
If they take her off and she breathes, that means that God meant for her to breathe. Okay. I felt that in my spirit.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I felt that.
We'll let you feel that in your spirit.
I felt that in my spirit. It ain't like she got no life support, insurance or nothing to leave me. So it ain't like she was going to leave me nothing.
Well, she leave a little bit.
What?
After we bury her, maybe
what, $2?
I don't know.
No, my mother got a life insurance policy that fit her life insurance. Exactly how much it is bury her. Ain't nothing over. Okay. So there's nothing in it for me. So I asked my auntie and I said, Auntie, what do you think? And she said, no. You got to resuscitate her. That's my sister. I love my sister. Oh, hallelujah. My auntie started praising God. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. You talking about time. How you know you was in ICU?
She did all that.
She started speaking in tongues. Oh, you did both time. No.
The decision.
So I said, I'll let you make that decision, Auntie. And I called them back and I told them if she don't breathe, to reassess her. I talked to her sister. But that's what families. I did all that to say funerals. You come together. You sit together. You talk together. Other people who love this person, mothers, fathers, cousins, relatives, aunts, they all have, not that you have to go with what they say, but can you listen to what people say?
Didn't they have
this person meant something to everybody.
Didn't they have for even some of the famous people, they wouldn't let Bobby Bobby Brown, I thought, comes
Oh,
up with
yeah,
Houston.
yeah.
So it's pettiness like that. That's her. Even though they wasn't married, right? They divorced at the time she passed.
Right.
But not letting him at the funeral.
And y'all have got to stop making these funerals like it's everything. These funerals are people's shells. It's not the person. Half the stuff y'all doing when y'all walk up to that casket is you. You say, oh, I cussed him out. I never said I was sorry. That's why you crying. That's why you hanging on the casket. That's why one leg is up and one is in the casket.
You wanna go
Don't go. Don't go. I never told you how I felt about you.
Yes.
I told you that I never revealed that I cared about you.
Right.
Or I told you I hated you. Or I didn't mean that, mama. Oh, mama, I didn't mean I hated you, mama. Oh, mama. The last thing I said to you. And it's always somebody, she knew you loved her. She knew you loved her. It's okay, Bill. It's okay. No, I told mama I couldn't stand her. Don't look at me no more, mama. That was the last words I said to my mama. Come on, it's a shell.
So get our paperwork together.
Get your paperwork
But then
together.
it's still to the Braxton sisters. They doing their own thing. It's nothing you can do.
It's nothing you could do.
And they didn't invite him.
It's for you. When you have 20 million memorial services, it's for you.
Yeah, it's for them.
It's not for the
Them
person.
to talk about her.
The person
and
is
remember her
gone.
as their sister. They don't want the husband who they really don't like to be there when they're reminiscing in memory of their sister.
So my voice says, the burden falls on me, all of it for my mom, and I have a sister. Wow. Michelle said, you are so right, Kim. Yeah. I mean, it's really sad. It's like, I just want people to think. And then I know we always say, you never know what the final words are. You need to tell people, you don't need to tell people you love them. You need to show people that you love them. So it doesn't matter what your final words are.
Right.
We argue all the time. And there's times I tell, I can't stand, I hate your hair. I hate you.
Excuse me?
I don't like you.
Say all that.
I said that.
Why you
haven't I?
hate my hair? What is wrong with
That
you?
afro style?
Why would somebody hate your hairstyle?
What do I say about that
And I
afro?
told Mama to put that on me when I do go because I want to get back at you. Put that fro on me.
But nobody would have to ever console my sister or console me and say, well, Kim, the last thing Lenore said to Kim was, I can't stand you. I know my sister loves me. You know what I'm saying?
So show that love every day.
And I love all of you that's watching right now, that's listening. I love you. If I don't, you already know. It's only about 2 or 3 people I don't like.
Oh, stop.
And all of them know who they are. Don't come to my funeral because I don't like you.
They may come.
And if you come,
nothing you can
I
do.
give you permission to cry and hang over my
know
body.
what?
Because the last thing I told you was that I didn't like you.
But you're saying all this to say.
I'm saying all this
as
to
a
say,
learning.
show people that you love them.
No, I'm
I'm gonna say that too.
Okay.
Show people that you love them. Don't just tell people you love them so that people don't hang on your very last word. There's husband and wives who argue with each other.
Try not to go out with unforgiveness.
Try not to go out with unforgiveness.
When that spouse, that
I
sister,
told you,
that cousin, or
I
friend
told you there's
died.
about 3 people I don't like. I love them though. I just don't like them.
Yep.
And don't go out with any unforgiveness. And put whatever your wishes are in writing.
Yes.
Now, just in case you don't, because there's people that's watching right now, and they're still not going to do it. Because that's just how we are.
Yeah.
Can y'all at least have some common sense as a family and come together?
And say, how does such and such, because we know how our dad told us. So my
See,
siblings,
now
hopefully-
that, you know.
I told Kim, I said, ooh.
It don't really matter with us because we don't really care about.
No.
We're not a
won't
family
fight
that we
over
don't visit
that.
graves.
Yeah.
I don't even know where my grandmother's grave is anymore.
Some people do, though.
Some people do. They visit
so,
graves. They have a
yeah.
memorial service every
Respect
year.
that they do
respect,
that,
and I
yeah.
respect that. I don't. When you gone, I see you in glory. That's how I am.
Right.
But I don't visit a grave. I don't, do any of that. But if you do, I respect that. But if you just make sure that y'all come together as a family.
Have a plan in place.
Have a plan so you don't look like the Braxtons. You know, they look bad. I'm sorry. It looks bad. And the only thing that's overshadowing it is Will slapping Chris Rock. My sister gonna be looking at me crazy. I love you too, Frankie. Okay. Y'all so funny. But yeah, you just come
and
together.
have your power of attorneys all in order.
But that's what I was going to ask
gotta
you.
pull the plug.
But what about if you the one?
No.
But I said the story about Mama. You the power of attorney, but I was the next one in line.
Oh,
see,
and we never had a discussion on.
What if the person who makes the decision is dead too? Ooh. What if the whole family blows up? And the next person is like, what am I supposed to do? I guess
I watch too much Grey's Anatomy. I'm thinking if you hear the beep, at least do that little thing they put on the chest first before you consider them gone. I don't know.
That's resuscitating.
Some people have come back from that.
Yeah, but if you, okay, so here's my thing. This is the part that y'all don't understand with me. Why I'm like, see, I'm back and forth.
They won't come back as a vegetable.
I would say this. I'm on live. I don't know. I'm up in the air about that. Okay. I told my sister, don't whatever that word is, if it means I'm coming back not as me.
We don't bring that.
No, the doctor will tell you she brain dead don't keep bringing me back so that I can live on a machine.
But I'm saying at the time they're doing it, they're getting that heart going back again. So we don't know what state everything else is in until later. But to get that, until you don't hear that.
But why you want me to hold on? Why?
No, it may be okay. Some people have come back and they still do okay. I mean, come on. And then too, because our family is a family of faith and we pray, we're going to have confirmation from one another. Is it time to pull that plug? Kim don't want to be in a vegetation state. Pull the plug.
I was pulling the plug on Mama.
You know what? I'm so glad my auntie told you.
No, because they took the thing off her and she breathed on her own.
Right. God said,
which is what I said.
She should live and not die.
I said if they pull the thing out and she stops breathing, it's time for her to go.
Stop.
That means God said I'm bringing her home.
Oh, we don't know.
But my auntie thought different.
Yes, I'm sorry. And then she was able to say that. Thank you.
But I don't know if auntie heard from God. I think that was just her personal. She don't want her sister to go. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we were all believing when they pulled her off the thing that she will be breathed on her own. So we all had that faith to know that.
Right.
So that was good. But I see what you're saying. There may be a situation where...
And just so y'all know, that whole thing on putting people on a ventilator, it's all suspicious to me.
What are you talking about?
Because remember, they wanted to put you on one, didn't they?
They asked me.
They asked her if she wanted to go on a ventilator.
And I'm sitting there going,
if you can answer the question,
2 rooms down from my mom,
why have you put me on a ventilator? If you can verbally ask me a question
and I can
tell you how I feel, why would you put me on a ventilator?
So they get money.
They got money. They get okay. I'll leave it alone. I don't want to be taken off of Facebook.
Right.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people probably was on a ventilator that didn't need to be on a ventilator.
They asked me that. They asked me if I wanted to be on a ventilator.
And a lot of it was because they didn't even know what to do at that time. They didn't even know what coronavirus was.
Yeah.
And we was like the black sheep of the world then, because we was one of the first people to get it in Lake County.
And they really was learning.
And people was like, they was experimenting. And nobody knew what it was. People was handing me stuff with a long rod. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't want to come anywhere near us. Mm-hmm. We had our apartment manager call us and say people in the apartment are concerned that y'all have coronavirus and y'all in the building. Yeah. So we got it at the beginning of it when everybody didn't know what it was and they thought we had leprosy. So I just want to say that. That's a whole nother video too. Mm-hmm. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Get your stuff in order. Get your paperwork in order. If you don't have your paperwork in order, at least come together as a family and not be stupid and not be, don't act silly.
So the Braxtons having their celebration.
Their celebration is April 2nd, which is Traci's birthday.
Wow.
Right? Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So there you have it. Right? Mm-hmm. Another Woods Report. I'll see y'all next time.